in our catch-up meeting, eh? Yeah, and what I'd love to know is what you've been doing at the moment. And I'm going to start with, how's the vegetable garden going? What's happened to the vegetable garden?
It's going crap.
Why? What's happened? You tell me what's happened to the vegetable garden. Because that was something you were working on last time, eh? You were making the garden at Taran's, and you're working with Jacob, and you told me that you were going to plant broccoli, carrots, lettuce, corn and beans, and you were going to plant some daisies and some strawberries, so you had a flower and a fruit. So what's happened to the garden? Tell us what's...
It rained.
What happened? So did the seedlings went in, eh?
No.
The plants haven't even gone in.
The weeds came out, and then the weeds come out, and then the weeds come out.
Yeah, we had really bad.
Ben, I want Ben to talk.
Oh,
Yeah, I want Ben to talk. So you tell me what's happened to that garden. What was the problem? What was the problem, bud?
Too much weeds.
Yeah. Why were there so many weeds? What happened to your ability to pull the weeds out?
Keep regrowing.
They kept regrowing. Yeah. And what else? What was the weather like?
Crap.
So what does that mean? I don't know what that
Rain.
means. Oh, it rained. So does that mean when it was time for you to go out to the garden, what was the problem?
Rain.
Yeah? Keep talking.
Keeps raining.
Yeah. And so as a result, what does the garden look like now?
Weeds everywhere.
Weeds everywhere. Oh. So is that a project you're going to have to go back to? Yeah. Okay, cool. My other question for you was, we know that Taran's got a puppy. All right. How are you getting on with the puppy at the moment?
Good.
So what are you doing with the puppy?
Sitting there next to it.
Are you sitting right next to the puppy now? Do you get licks? No. Are you patting the puppy? But you're able to sit right next to the puppy when you're at Taran's. So when you do your schoolwork, what's the puppy doing?
In another room.
A little bit of both?
Asleep.
Asleep. So how do you feel about dogs now? Tell me how you feel about dogs at the moment. Because obviously this puppy, how do you feel about this puppy? What does that mean for me?
Average.
Average, yeah? And when you go on the walkway, when you walk past dogs, how does that make you feel now?
Average.
But do you stop and wait for the dogs to go past? You tell me what you do.
Keep walking.
You keep walking? Far out, Ben. Big improvements, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Have you bathed the puppy yet? Have you been watching when the puppy's had its baths? Yeah? Good job, you.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. Okay. So I'd like to get you to show me some of the maths you've been doing and explain to me where you're up to. What you're enjoying would be good. What are you enjoying about your maths at the moment? Can you explain to me what you're enjoying about your maths at the moment?
Math.
No, you show me and explain. Because we had to work on your working out, eh? Is that right? And then we'll get Taran to help us. But is this all the work you've been doing? You've done quite a lot. How much of this are you doing on your own? And how much are you doing it with the support of Taran or Mum? You answer. What does that mean to me? You're kind of doing it on your own. Yeah? Okay. So you've done all of that. Is this all new, this part here?
Mm-hmm.
That's all new. That's heaps, Ben. Yeah.
There's some gaps though.
Yeah, that's okay. Because this is just building up your knowledge, isn't it? Your number knowledge. So you're not into fractions. Oh, decimals. You can do, obviously, decimals. Wow. Good job, Ben. So what level are we at with this book, hun? So we're at Dragon Maths 3. We're not quite ready to move up to 4 yet?
I think we need to do a little bit more on this one.
Okay, yeah. So Ben, as well as that, how are you been going with this stuff? Where are we up to with this? Can you tell me? No, rather than just pull the pages over, tell me, are we finished that, ready for marking?
I finished it. No.
Why Ben?
Mm,
What part did you get up to and then you went,
no, I can't remember.
So you needed to interview.
I had to interview people.
Ah.
Interview jobs.
Interview people about.
Jobs.
Okay, so who do you think?
How much money they earn. That's
Oh.
legal.
Oh, I think people can give you approximates for that.
And then we came up with a plan, didn't we, about who, only yesterday we came up with a plan.
So what's your plan?
Forgot.
Where did we think we would go, where I know some people that would talk to us?
Forgot.
Well, you talk to Taran and say, can you please give me a hint?
It was a big place.
Yes, the picture.
Picture.
Oh, which one?
Big one.
Anyway.
What's the big one?
On the one way?
Animates.
Oh, that's cool. So you're going to interview some people there. Okay, so you tell me how your anxiety is about doing that at the moment. Where would it be? Way up there. That's normal, isn't it? So you'll take time to process that. Okay? All right, so you'll take time to process that. And if you get stuck with that, you could then, I don't mind, you can interview me. Yeah, if you get stuck. I'm sure one of the teacher aides here that you know, someone like Rochelle, Taran, you could interview Taran. Yeah, so we don't mind if you interview. I don't mind.
More like, that was the question that says more like young people, like with part-time jobs, how many hours a week and how much
You could interview Jacob. Jacob Smith.
Yeah.
Because he's got a part-time job. He does a pamphlet run.
Yeah, we've seen him a few times, haven't we?
Yeah. You could interview him. Easy. We can find some other people who've got
These ones
jobs.
here, 5 young people have jobs and ask them. And that's what you were going to ask us, Sam. And if you didn't know 5 young people,
That's fine.
yeah, what would the other?
No one's...
Improvising.
It's person 1, person 2, person 3. It's absolutely fine. Yeah? So if you haven't got the young people, it won't matter.
Have
Alright.
you enjoyed doing this so far? Yeah? Yeah? Good.
So you're about halfway through that one. Yeah? Okay, so where are we at next? What's this? Oh, this is... Oh, the angels. Gray's Angels.
Mm-hmm.
Did you enjoy that article?
Yeah.
It's quite interesting, eh?
Can we kind of make up on it?
Oh, at the beginning.
How did you muck up?
The preview, Ben previewed the whole book and wrote down 4 things he thought he was going to learn. Then
That's all right.
realised afterwards that
It
it
was
was
just the
that
one.
story.
That's
but
all right, Ben.
That's it, Ben. That is...
So you did...
Hospital.
Let's have a look.
Coot. Blood.
The blood from the wounds soaks their clothes. The 8 wards overflowed. Awesome. Well done, you. So we'll put that into your evidence for your reading. Yeah. Okay, what else have we got?
This is a bunch of different worksheets, isn't it, Ben, that Mum's printed off for you?
Oh, your
Ben's
mum
been
spends her
working
life
through
looking for worksheets.
Lots and lots and lots of them.
Awesome. Because again, I'll go through those, and in the holidays, Ben, I'm going to go through and put reading, writing, speaking for those 5 credits, and then we'll look at what we still need to get done, because there might be one section that we might need to relook at a little bit. Does that make sense? Yep. Okay. So if I was to ask Taran on a scale of 1 to 10 how hard you're working, 1 being I'm not working at all, 10 I'm the most
10.
hardest working person in the world,
10.
you reckon Taran would tell me 10? That's a bit of an evil giggle, isn't it? What do you reckon she'd say for real?
6, 7, 8.
Okay, now let's hear from Taran.
He's been pretty consistent, hasn't he? Yeah, I would say. Yeah, I would say probably about an 8, Ben. Would you say about an 8?
I'd say for me about a 6.
But your mum.
Sometimes an 8.
Yeah,
Your
for
mum.
me about an 8.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
awesome. All this work you're churning out this year, isn't it? How does it make you feel?
Good.
Why? Why does it make you feel good?
Damn it.
I think you do. Are you a little bit proud? Is your brain finally working?
It's a good feeling, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you want to tell Miss Sampson what the new module we've just started for your Dakota? Can you remember what type of science it is? Before we talk about that, can you, just on that Dakota, can you tell Miss Sampson what that really neat first video we watched with the volcano yesterday? What did they discover swimming around in the crater?
Sharks.
Where?
In an underwater volcano.
Whereabouts? Can you remember?
Underwater as in the ocean volcano.
So, under the ocean volcano
Yeah.
in the Solomon Islands, they discovered
Shark.
sharks swimming in the crater.
Oh wow. Serious?
Yeah.
Is it not warm and toasty in there?
Really warm. And
Yeah.
they were trying to
Megalodon.
they were
Is it like their sparkle?
they were trying to work out, they think that the sharks can sense before it erupts by their sonar and all that kind of.
Oh, so they know when to get out.
Mhm.
Because it would be like your own heated swimming pool. Be like, you know how you swim at Jean Sandal? It'd be like that for the sharks, wouldn't it? Wow.
And then come on now, Ben, I know you'll be able to remember this because you were not impressed with the song that I taught you at all. What is the big word that we're learning about?
Can't remember. And happy I can't remember.
Yeah, starts with. What did Mum just take? She took a.
Oh, I know what you're learning.
I took a what?
Long.
Photosynthesis.
The long word.
Synth.
Yes.
Photosynthesis.
Photosynthesis.
Type
Bit of a
C.
mouthful, eh?
It is
Photosynthesis.
quite a big concept.
Yeah.
So
About that.
that's what you're doing now?
So we're doing ecology,
Yeah.
modules ecology.
Yeah.
And we're learning all about the food chain. And yeah, all about photosynthesis.
Cool.
Ben actually really enjoyed it yesterday, didn't you? We just started.
Can you tell me anything that you might have remembered that sparks that little brain of yours? The photosynthesis. How do I say it? Photosynthesis.
If you have a look at that, can you remember anything to do with those two?
There's a planet in the
Solar system.
solar system what looks like Earth.
And it's called?
Thingy.
There's the word. Kepler.
What's it called? Kepler. And it looks like Earth. But it's not. So, that's cool. See, I know nothing about science, Ben.
And so Ben he's now working on a presentation.
Oh, brilliant.
And this presentation, Ben's a scientist.
Yep.
And he's got all the criteria that he needs to meet. I'm just having a look at it as we speak.
Yep.
And then
The presentation is a Google slide and speaking, or
there's a few options: a video, a slide.
oh, cool.
We're gonna focus on the speaking.
Yeah.
As well.
Brilliant. So we're
And
about
so-
to use that for this, yeah?
That'd be good.
The components that Ben he'll be exploring the elements of the natural communities, and he will need to show how he intends to recreate them in this new environment. So that planet that we're focusing on, he will need to create all the elements that you would need to live there
Gotcha.
for us to
Yeah.
live there, to be able to live
Yeah.
there.
There's that. Oh, I've got a journal article that would be quite useful for that. And I think it's actually in my bag. Helen, can you just hold the phone? Ben, I think, just off the top of my head, that's how my brain works. I think I may have. I have.
Watch Miss Simpson.
I actually have a journal article.
Oh.
I know I do. That would match that. I've just got to find it for you. It's not that, but that's about penguins.
We do need another one of these.
Yeah, I've got to write some.
So,
But I've got a journal article. I'll find it. It's in one of the latest, and it's exactly what you need. Just to give you some ideas, it's about Mars. I haven't given you the Mars one, have I?
No.
I know exactly what it is, and it would be really handy. So before you leave, I will find it for you.
Hey, Ben. Oh, also, what other book are you reading?
A book.
What book are you reading at home? It's quite interesting and
Bear
exciting.
Grylls.
What is it?
Bear Grylls.
Oh, you're into Bear Grylls.
And it's about,
I can't remember.
what's the book about?
English.
Yeah, who's on the plane?
People.
Who's on the plane?
People. I don't know.
Argentinian football team?
No, there's two teenage boys about Ben's age and their Uncle Al, and the pilot dies,
A-L.
and they crash into the mountains in Alaska.
I
And
know the
only
book.
way they can get,
I thought it was just one boy. Are there two in it?
there's two,
Okay.
yeah. There's one Inuit boy,
Oh, okay.
and there's one boy who is an adventure guy who knows everything.
And they've got to...
Make it across the mountains to the little town to get help for their Uncle Al.
A-I.
And how far through the book are you?
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's the book, and we're about there.
So-
Way.
There you go. Cool.
So just to finish on that, so Ben will need to learn about the elements necessary to support life in a natural environment, and then put together a presentation outlining your findings and suggesting how you'll achieve this on the new planet. So the presentation can be in the form of a movie, a website, a prezi or other presentation. We weren't sure what a prezi is.
A prezi is this crazy mind... it's a crazy sort of like mind mapping tool, software. It makes me seasick.
Okay.
Yeah.
An essay or your choice. So we thought we'd use
You're going to write an essay, eh, Ben?
the speech side of things. So you can those credits.
Yeah, that's a good idea. That's a really good idea. I wouldn't expect you to write an essay. So that is a really good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So that'll be what we're focusing on there with Dakota.
Cool. So Ben, what we need to be thinking about is next year, what subjects you choose so that you're all ready to go and you can set up so it wouldn't be attached to school anymore. How do you feel about that? Working just with Taran and Mum with Dakota next year.
That means no dragons maths
Yeah, yeah. And you can start looking at year 11, level 1, some level 1 stuff. Probably a mix again would be quite useful, and building up your skills. So it would be a good idea for us to really start thinking about what program would work best for you next year. Does that make sense? Yeah? So that's sort of where we're going.